I'm just wondering just sort of what the emotional goal was like when you're on a last place team in the league, and then a short time later you find yourself playing on a Stanley Cup contender.
It's exciting. Obviously, I think last year was a good learning year for me, and there was ups and downs of the season. I think the call this summer to be able to come up to Edmonton is just an exciting opportunity. Obviously, you saw what Edmonton was able to do last year and how far they were able to make it, and all the great returning players they have. So I'm just excited for the opportunity.
So as a player in that situation, do the expectations change? Is the bar raised a little bit? Is the pressure a little bit more, knowing that this is a team it isn't rebuilding and just trying to move ahead slowly? It's a team that wants to win a Stanley Cup here and now.
I think there's always a little bit more pressure of a cup contender, obviously, but I try to take it day by day and just play my same game, show up with a positive attitude, and try to contribute in any way that I can.
Ty, give us a self-scouting report on what's your strengths and what's the best way you can contribute to the team.
I'm just a solid two-way defender. I think I can skate well, and I think I use my physicality as an asset of mine, but I can help out on the PK. I can move pucks to the forwards and just be a consistent defender that people can count on.
You get into your first NHL games last year, then unfortunately your season's cut short due to injury. Just how much do those 30 games benefit you now heading into this season?
I think a lot of just being able to step into this season and know that I have played in this league before and I'm not the new guy for sure in those first couple games. But I think as the 30 games went on last year, I think I grew a lot and I was making a lot of strides. And obviously the injury cut it short at the end of the season. But I think I was making a lot of strides and I'm ready to start the season on a good note.
Trying to get to know you a little bit because you're new here.
Yep.
Tell us something about yourself. Like, what'd your dad do for a living? Where'd you grow up? How'd you grow up? Who are you?
Ty Emberson. Obviously, grew up in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. My dad, so Eau Claire, Wisconsin is an hour and a half straight east of Minneapolis. But my dad owns a marine power sports business. So he sells boats, jet skis, four-wheelers, 4x4s, all the fun stuff that he likes. He likes to say sells toys for adults in northern Wisconsin. But I grew up on the lakes, grew up playing hockey. Eau Claire's a good hockey city, but grew up on the backyard rinks with all my friends and just hanging out. I went to Wisconsin for 3 years, so that was awesome, and now I'm just excited to be here.
You surfer, you water skier, you wakeboarder?
Wake surfing, actually. So it's the slalom skiing scares me, but my dad blew out his shoulder a couple of years ago doing that, so I have shied away from that, but wake surfing is what we do in the summers.
Guys, play their whole career without a chance to play for a real, true Stanley Cup contender. All of a sudden you get traded and you're on a team that everyone around you here plans on winning a Stanley Cup around here soon, and you have a chance to have a job on this team. Just tell us about that opportunity and how I'm not going to say it landed in your lap because I know you've worked hard to be here, but it's a pretty fortuitous trade for you.
Yeah, obviously, like I said, it's exciting, and just in the first week or two that I've been here, you can see why Edmonton is such a great organization and why they have been so successful in the last couple of years. You look at the leaders that they have here, you look at the skates that they put together, and just even the off-season summer skates. Everyone's competitive, everyone's holding each other to a very good standard, and it's an unreal opportunity for me.
Along the lines of that opportunity, they also move some defensemen. So you come to a team that wants to compete for a cup, but there's pretty incredible opportunity to earn spots, significant spots. Just what was your thought when you sort of look at the Oilers depth chart and realize, okay, like if I hold up my end here, if I do what I can, there's real opportunity here for a right shot guy.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, but I'm a very big day by day guy. Camp starts with day one, and then you move to day two, and you take every day, you take every opportunity with that passion that you can show up to the rink and try to contribute something to the team. So I think I'm doing that, just trying to contribute in any way I can. Obviously they have Bush, who's a great power play guy, and I think I just want to contribute in the ways that maybe won't go as noticed, of blocking shots, making hits, playing solid defensively, and just contributing on the PK.
You got Paul Coffey that coached a defense to a Stanley Cup final. You got Connor McDavid as the captain here. Like there's some pretty heady, high-end stuff here. What's your early experience with that?
It's pretty cool. Obviously, you watch these guys on TV, and it's an unreal opportunity for me to be here because you grow up watching these guys. Obviously, Connor's a great player, and you grew up hearing about Paul Coffey, and now that I'm here, being able to shake their hands and just being able to be in the same room with them, just kind of pick their brain is a fun thing for me.
Hi, Ty. Obviously, you have a limited NHL experience with just the last year. How do you think that helped, and what makes you probably ready in your mind to take this opportunity?
I think just coming in knowing that I've played in the league before, I've played against a lot of these guys, and it's just finding my routine, finding my composure and my steps in the right direction. Last year, the first couple games of an NHL career are always trying to find your footing a little bit, but I think by the end of last year, I was very confident in my game and who I was.
Tell me about Chris Noblock and your relationship with him, and maybe how that helps a little bit in terms of developing some familiarity early on here.
Yeah, Chuck's been awesome. So obviously I had him in Hartford and we got along really well. So I think the way that he communicates with his players is very upfront and he's clear in what he wants. And it's a very personable coach who you can understand and kind of, you want to play for a guy like that. In Hartford, we had a good year and it was exciting. And then obviously when the call came this summer that I got moved to Edmonton, he gave me a shout a couple days later. So it's nice just to be able to touch base and have a familiar face in the room.
Morning, Ty. Since 2021, after playing in Wisconsin for a few years and turning pro, where have you seen the most growth in your game in terms of knowing what you had to work on to get to that level, and then, of course, seeing the 30 games in the NHL last year?
I think just my maturity and my puck play and managing the game. Obviously, there's times to make plays and there's times to not make plays. So I think just being able to understand that it's a long game and that not every game needs to be won in a specific breakout or a specific neutral zone pass. That there are different times to make plays, and I think just finding consistency in my game. Of obviously, pro hockey it's one of the hardest jobs in the world, but it's exciting, and it's just finding that consistency and really understanding who I am as a player and making sure that I can establish myself.